Hello everybody and welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. Today, we are we're going to be investigating more. I think this is a flashback because, yeah. Because I already saw the first line when I saved. As the night went on, I found myself falling into another nightmare. What the? A knock rang out on the door leading to Timora law offices. Ruby Timora let out an irritated grumble. Who the hell was bothering her after hours? I don't know who you think you are, but... She froze when she saw Frey's son standing at the door. His bright blonde hair was covered in dirt and grime. The clothes that he'd seen Frey sew for him were tattered and torn. He looked like he hadn't eaten anything in days. He just stared at her. He just stared blankly at her. What? What are you doing here? How did you even get here? I walked. What? We need to call someone. We need to get you back home. There's nothing there for me. This was her fault. If she'd just taken the deal, his mother would still be alive. Are you going to keep fighting the nobility? His words came out weakly. He sounded like a ghost. What? Miss Timora, are you going to keep fighting them? Look, that's not important. We need to get you some help. I want to help you fight them. Tyrion, please, just let me help you. Look, just come inside. We need to get you something to eat. Then we can get you cleaned up. The boy said nothing as he clutched the final message that his mother had left for him. It was the last comforting memory I'd ever had of her. It was something that I'd never experience again. Mom. It was another nightmare. It'd been a while since I thought about that day. The nightmares were getting worse and worse. I really needed to get this case done with as soon as I could. Hey, are you up? Yeah. I felt like I should say something to her after what happened yesterday, but the words didn't come to me. Let's get to work. Yeah. We missed him yesterday, but Crown Prince Aster supposedly saw what happened to Justin during the accident. Might have seen something that Eureka missed. I had no idea why the Crown Prince helped me back at Von Sanctus Manor, but he seemed to be more amicable to us than I'd have expected. But finding him in this large city was another matter. I was sure he was hidden away somewhere. There's something else that Steelwind mentioned during the trial. Several years ago, Miss Tudor was part of a band of thieves who would frequently rob shipments addressed to Von Sanctus Industries. Her group was eventually arrested, and she'd only avoided a sentence to the dungeons by taking a plea deal. She was coincidentally present when the robbery occurred, and she's a registered mage. Not to mention that her little gang all those years ago used that same name. Rika was supposedly a part of a band of thieves, and their thefts all those years ago seemed to be similar to that of the Phantom. I had to say part, but... Do you think one of them is involved in all this? I think so. But I don't know why she wouldn't speak up about it if it was related to the case. We'll probably have to talk to her next. After all, I doubt it'll be easy to get an audience with. Hello there. As we exited our room, we suddenly came face to face with the Crown Prince. We all stood there, stunned. What was he doing staying at a tavern for commoners? Your Highness! Tyrion Cuthbert? You know who I am? That wasn't usually a good sign. I do. I know you very well. Tyrion Cuthbert, the protege of the infamous Ruby Tymora. I'm your biggest fan! What? I can't believe it. The infamous Tyrion Cuthbert is standing right in front of my tavern room. What? I've read all about your feats, Mr. Cuthbert. You successfully indicted the head of House Pierce. You didn't think twice about confronting a member of House Freyga. And you even defeated the Duke of Commerce in that chess tournament yesterday. Is it bad that I've become numb to the surprises this week? And you must be Celeste McCoy. You're Tyrion's first client, and the Demon Crimson of the Eastern Kingdoms. How did you find out about that name? The Crimson what? Anyways, Your Highness, is it true that you witnessed the accident yesterday morning? Yes, I did. Are you going to interrogate me about what I saw? I'll answer with whatever question you have. Aster D. Wyverngard. Occupation, Crown Prince. Age 26. Why does he look kind of like a cat? The Crown Prince of Wyverngard's royal family, and next in line to the throne. Despite his status, he seems to be a big admirer of me and Miss Tymora. He appears to hate the injustices perpetuated by the nobility as much as I do. First Lucio Steelwind, and now the Crown Prince. Why were so many of my supposed enemies being so agreeable this week? I just let out an exasperated sigh. I shouldn't look this gift horse in the mouth. I'm a lawyer. It's an attorney's runestone. It's proof that you're a certified attorney. I've never seen one of these up close before. Really? I thought the Crown Prince would be the first to have a runestone like this. I have a runestone, but it's not an attorney's runestone. Finally, someone that understands the difference. Is there anything to investigate in here? So, is it just me, or does this hallway look similar to the one in your family's tavern? Well, most taverns use the same architecture, so I don't think it's that strange. No, but it looks exactly like the McCoy Tavern. It's uncanny. It's as if whoever made this tavern decided to just reuse the same design. Hey, making unique designs is difficult, Tyrion, and it costs money. Do you really think developers should be spending resources on a location that you'll only see once? I don't know, it just seems kind of lazy. Well, if it bothers you so much, why don't you pay for the assets required to make a new one? I decided to drop the matter.
Arcanum.
Oh. She's...
Arcanum.
Okay. So, Your Highness. Please, there's no need for that. Just call me Asta. He couldn't be serious, could he? After I got a good look at him, he looked sincere. A little too sincere. He carried himself with the poise of a royal, but there was a warm kindness and humility in his eyes. He sounded too good to be true, but maybe I was just too jaded by the other aristocrats I'd met. What is the Crown Prince doing in a tavern like this, anyway? Ah, the King's Guard were being far too overbearing. They were insistent that I return to the capital, but I've been planning this trip to Ornox for days. I found an opportunity to sneak away from them and hired a guide to show me around the city. Are you talking about Noah Morrison? Ah, yes, Mr. Morrison. He told me quite a lot about the industrial complexities of Ornox, and even more about the workers' unions. Is it really okay for you to disappear like that? The King's Guard are probably freaking out over losing track of you. Ah, they worry far too much. I can take care of myself. I may not look it, but I'm one of the most powerful mages in the kingdom. That sounds awfully cocky, don't you think? You think so? There was so much optimism behind those eyes. How sheltered was this guy? Anyways, Mr. Morrison told us you were present when the accident occurred. Oh, it was quite dreadful what happened. We only have one witness who actually saw Justin fall into that vat. I was wondering if you saw anything she didn't. I didn't see much, I'm afraid. It all happened very quickly. If you weren't yelling at that animal, I might not have noticed him. There was an animal up on the catwalk, too. It looked to be some kind of hairless rodent, but it was abnormally large. I think he may have been trying to catch it. He even grabbed it at one point. Was he facing towards Jerk Hogan's office when he was yelling at this rodent? I think so. Noah pointed out the office window earlier, but allowed Stefanik to oversee the refinery. Did you see anyone else up on the catwalk? No, my view of the catwalk was limited by my position. Evidence updated, witness testimony. Rosarika Tudor was What? Oh. Was delivering Justin's breakfast to him, but she couldn't find him in the freight area. She went looking for him and spotted him on the catwalk with her in the front. The Astro D Wyvern Guard was also there at the time and saw Justin yelling at a hairless animal. They both saw Justin get blasted with some sort of spell that took the shape of an expanding prism. The spell destroyed the guardrail of the catwalk and pushed Justin into the vat. This whole time I thought Justin was being yelled at by the Phantom, but it turned out he was just yelling at a rat. It seemed that the only person who spotted the thief that day was Justin. Did you see the moment that Justin fell in? Was he pushed off the catwalk by a spell? I'm not quite sure, but I definitely saw something magical. There was a flash of magical light centered on his position. The magical energy took the shape of a prism before blowing apart the guardrail. Justin lost his balance afterward and fell into the vat. Did you see what the spell looked like? Do you think you could identify it for us? The problem is that I'm almost sure that it wasn't a spell. It was the effect of some sort of artificer. How can you be so sure? It's difficult for someone who's not a mage to understand. When a mage casts a spell, they draw and harness the aether from within their own body. Artificer, on the other hand, draws aether from the natural ley lines that run through the ground. I am someone who has practiced arcane magic for my entire life. I've slowly learned how to sense how aether moves around me. You can do that too? I thought I was the only one. Oh, that talent is quite a rarity, even among the royal family. I suppose I shouldn't expect anything less from the Crimson Demon. Stop calling me that! So, you could feel the aether moving towards the source of that spell. Yes, it was quite distinct because of how high up he was. I could sense the aether rising out of the ground into his position on the catwalk. So the guardrail was broken apart by this artificery? Is that why there weren't any traces of magic up there? No, artificery simply replicates the effects of an arcane spell. They leave traces of magic, just like the spells cast by a mage do. That also means our culprit wasn't necessarily a mage. Anyone could have used a device like that. Not necessarily. What do you mean? The amount of aether being drawn was considerable. It was of a much higher quantity than what most artificer devices are capable of. Whatever the device was, it was quite advanced and dangerous. Something like that wouldn't be commonly available to the public. The military would definitely have access to a weapon like that too. It pointed to Lucio Steelwind, but that just made his actions during the trial all the more bizarre. What can you tell me about Grand General Steelwind? The Grand General is a difficult man to speak of. In recent days, his name alone carries the weight of thousands of slaughtered innocents. I take it you don't care much for him? Not many do, even though his heartless monster would see little sense in his bloody conquest in the countryside. I was surprised when he took the stand at the trial yesterday, but I'm sure it's just another plot to undermine the other pillar families. I had really hoped my arranged marriage to Lady Steelwind would sate his thirst for power, but it seems to have just made it worse. Wait, what did you just say? Ah, of course, I suppose most outside the nobility wouldn't be aware of it. My father and the Grand General have arranged for me to marry Lady Steelwind. What? She never told me she was engaged to the Crown Prince? I wouldn't blame her. She's not exactly pleased with our arrangement. That woman despises me. What? Our marriage is purely political. A way to unify the royal family with the upper brass of the military. I admire her desire to bring prosperity to the common folk, but I unfortunately seem to represent everything she hates about this kingdom. She can't even stand speaking to me. Every time I'm around her, she can barely contain her contempt. Oh no! But I've made my peace with that. She always cared more about her duty than anything else. When I take the throne, I will build her a compassionate kingdom that she can take pride in. I really wanted to believe him, but I knew better than to trust empty promises like that. I guess only time would tell what kind of ruler he would be. Aster, I've been hearing an awful lot about how this serial robber stole the item from your ship. Ah, that. The King's Guard have been scrambling about trying to find us. Would you be able to tell me what they stole? I don't know. I've been having a lot of trouble pinning down what the thief was after. If they infiltrated your ship, they were taking a gigantic risk. They wouldn't have done that without a good reason. They stole several high-capacity arcane crystals attuned to the School of Evocation. Arcane crystals are pretty common, aren't they? They're what draw and provide power to artificery devices. The problem is that they are attuned to evocation, the most raw and destructive school of magic. Artificery that uses evocation is heavily supervised by the kingdom, and most devices that use them are extremely weak. Those crystals were a shipment addressed to Von Sanctus Industries. They were meant to be received at a port and used to construct weapons for use by the military. Are these crystals really that valuable? They have a large capacity to channel evocation magic. They're extremely potent at unleashing energy. In the wrong hands, they could produce an explosion with the power to level an entire block of this city. Evidence updated. Stolen arcane crystals. A thief known as the Mist-Weaving Phantom stole a dangerous shipment of high-capacity arcane crystals attuned to evocation magic. In the wrong hands, these crystals could produce an explosion capable of destroying a city block. This theft occurred the morning after Justin's death on an Imperial ship owned by Crown Prince Aster. The King's Guard have set up a blockade and prevented anyone from traveling in and out of Orinox. They seem to be making note of everyone in the city. There have been mass reports of insurrection here, too. Whether those reports are true or not, my teeth clench at the thought of what someone might do with those crystals. It was even worse to think about what the Grand General might do to stop that from happening. Okay, I think that answers all of my questions. Thank you, Aster. Of course. I'm just happy to help. I was hoping that the Crown Prince had spotted the thief, but all he saw was some hairless rodent. I would just need to look into the other leads and hope that that would lead somewhere. Either way, it was time to move somewhere else. Okay, I guess we'll hear first. She didn't seem keen on talking at the moment. Same thing? I stepped through the doors of the cafe and found it completely empty. Rika was sitting near the kitchen, somberly looking out the window. Hi, Rika. Oh, hey, Tyrion. What? No grand declarations from the Dark Lord of Horinox? I'm not really in the mood for that today. I scratched my head and scanned the empty restaurant. I never knew what to say in these situations. Can we talk? I still need help with the case. Sure. I'm sorry about what happened during the trial. I didn't know Steelwind would pull your record like that. I came to help you and Mr. Dracogan. I would have done it again if I had to. I'm really sorry about this. I know it's really none of my business, but I need to know this for the case. Was what Steelwind said about you true? Rika, I think the Mistweaving Phantom is the person who hit Justin with that spell yesterday. And it could be someone you used to work with. That's impossible. How can you be so sure? It's just not. Rika, Tyrion, I'm not going to talk about this! I couldn't blame her for being so defensive. I'd be a hypocrite if I did. But I needed to know more about these thieves she used to run with. I would need to persuade her to tell me the truth. Thanks for telling me about what happened, Rika. I know that must have been difficult. Yeah, I really do hope it helps. It would have been nice if you told us you were safe in Rathlom. Sorry. I was too focused on getting revenge on the nobility. And after a while, it just felt like too much time had passed. Yeah, well, you're here now. We should make the most of it. I'm holding you two to that adventure after all this is over. Okay, that didn't do anything. What do you think about this, Rika? Okay, sorry, I can't say much about that. She knew something about the Mistweaving's Phantom, but she obviously wasn't keen on sharing. I needed to persuade her in an argument if I wanted to get anywhere. You're just not gonna let me... My god, okay, so... I hope Noah's okay. Yeah, those nights were a little rough with him. Is he okay? Yeah, he's just a little shaken up. He's been trying to get the Kingsguard to reveal where his friends were taken. Right, I suppose Lucio Steelwind is the last person I'd trust with my friends' lives. Really, I'm not gonna be able to fill out the psychological profile. Wow, okay. Okay. Is it just gonna be... Still no spells. He's really gone, isn't he? Sorry, I shouldn't have... It's okay. I know you're doing your best to help Mr. Dracogan. It's just hard to accept, you know? Part of me wishes really was an accident. But someone attacked, and I don't even know why. That's one. I really owe a lot to Mr. Dracogan. He invested in you despite your brushes with the law. He must have a lot of faith in you. You think so? Well, your cooking is amazing. I love your breakfast wraps. Yeah, I'm really proud of how those turned out. I really hope he gets out of this. There's one more thing. One more thing. Me? You really know how to command a presence in the courtroom. I kinda have to if I want to get anywhere. Each session starts with the entire room convinced that the defendant is guilty. I'm glad there are people out there who will do what it takes to deliver justice. I think you and Mr. Dracogan have something in common there. There we go. I need to know more about the people that Mo Saruka used to run with. Let me save. And I couldn't ignore what Steelwind said during the trial. Supposedly, the Mistweaving Phantom's thefts were similar to the thefts she took part in all those years ago. She was holding something back. I just needed to convince her to tell me. Tyrion? I don't want to talk about this. Can you just let this go? Rika Tudor's criminal past is a sore subject for her. She knew you 10 years ago, and she clearly trusts you. Use logic to explain why you need this information. If logic is impossible, sincerity may be enough because of your shared past. Someone killed your friend, are you seriously not going to tell me what I need to know? I can imagine it's a difficult subject. I'll understand if you don't want to share. I need this information if I want to save Dracogan and find out who killed Justin. So, logic. I know I'm asking a lot, but there's too much at stake here. I need this information if I want to save Dracogan and find out what really happened to Justin. I'm not hiding anything. I don't know who the missing phantom is. What Steele once said about this new thief isn't true. It's just a coincidence. It's good enough. If only he was ever good enough to get away with robbing an Imperial ship. Thoughts contradict their claim. Emotions contradict their claim. So both of these, but this says to use sincerity, so empathy? Rika, you obviously don't think that. Yeah? And how do you know what I really think? Because I can see your thoughts. I don't think you can really believe that. I don't think you really believe that. One of the people you used to work with was really good, wasn't it? Only he was ever good enough to successfully rob an Imperial ship. How do you know that? Naught can remain concealed from the eye of Horus. Tyrion, don't joke around right now. I'm not. Rika, this person is dangerous. I don't know that. How can you say that? He attacked your friend. I keep telling you that's not what happened. The misleading phantom isn't a threat to anyone. Whoever they are, they were just trying to survive. They didn't kill Justin, and they're not dangerous. Do they just present the misleading phantom? What's this supposed to be? It's proof that the serial robber is more dangerous than you think he is. Tyrion, that doesn't prove anything. Guess you're right. Okay. Rika, the Mistweaving Phantom stole something important from a ship owned by the Crown Prince. He did? He stole several high-capacity arcane crystals. Those crystals could be used to construct an explosive powerful enough to destroy a city block. Why do you think Lucio Steelwind has been blockading the city for the last few days? I know you're just trying to do the right thing, but whoever the Phantom is, their actions could have unimaginable consequences for the city. How can I trust you? What? How can I trust you? You just disappeared in that forest after the execution. I thought you were dead. And then 10 years later, you show up in the paper, working for some shady lawyer. Lucio Steelwind saved you at this trial yesterday, and you're even friendly with his daughter. I can't trust you. What am I supposed to think? How am I supposed to trust you? I'm sorry, but believe me when I say that I want to save you and the city. It has nothing to do with this serial robber needs to be caught. All the evidence I have says that I need this information. Please don't make my job harder for me than it is. Is that an appeal? I'm sorry. There's nothing I can say to make up for that. I know I've changed a lot, but believe me when I say that I want to save you and the city. Please, Rika. I need you to tell me who the serial robber is. I can't defend Dracogan or stop Lucio unless I know that. Okay. I'll trust you. I successfully persuaded Rika Tudor. Stories start spreading around after you went missing. People heard about how a single mother was executed while the city watch forced her child to watch. What? Things already weren't great here, but I think that was the tipping point. No one trusted the city watch after that. and the crime in the city slowly got worse and worse. Merchants were constantly getting robbed and attacked. One by one, they started pulling out of the city. It wasn't long before the only person who could do business here was the Duke of Commerce. The one merchant was with enough armed forces to protect his goods. Jobs became scarce, and the ones that existed had terrible conditions. A lot of people turned to crime to survive, so a bunch of us at the orphanage decided we might as well too. I might as well ride the wave. You started robbing Von Sanctus's ships. Honestly, it was all Justin. I was just the distraction. With some help from the other orphans, I'd used my evocation magic and put on an act to spook the guards. While they were chasing us around, Justin would slip into the merchant ships to take what we needed. At first, we only took the food and clothes we needed to survive. But we realized we could make a lot of gold we could actually make a lot of gold by stealing Von Sanctus's goods and selling them on a black market. Justin had a real talent for breaking into the more guarded ships. He'd learned a lot about artificery from some of the books we stole, and he learned how to bypass Von Sanctus's security. He'd slipped in and out of the ships without being seen or triggering any alarms. They called him the Mist-Weaving Phantom. Did they call him that, or just you? Hey, that's how I come up with our catchy. You remember that name I came up with when we were kids? Yeah, I remember. Naught can remain concealed from the eye of Horus. Wait, but from your story it sounds like... I think Justin was the thief that everyone's talking about. I told you, didn't I? The thief who broke into Mr. Dracokian's office didn't attack Justin. He was Justin. But then, who attacked him? I don't know. The victim was the Mist-Weaving Phantom this whole entire time. That was the only lead I had to identify the murderer. But if Justin was the one who robbed the office that morning, why would somebody attack him? Who else would be up on that catwalk? I got him that job, you know? All those years ago, one of our heists didn't go as planned and we were all arrested. Justin told me to take a plea deal by letting him take the fall. I was scared of losing everything, so I agreed. When he finally got released from the dungeons, I begged Mr. Dracokian to hire him. I thought I could make it up to him. But then I started hearing about all the robberies happening in the harbor. It matched so closely to the reports back then, but I really didn't want to believe it was him. He had his job at the refinery. He didn't have to steal to survive anymore. But I guess he just couldn't help himself. You're just trying to help him. And now he's dead. But if Justin was the serial robber, why was he robbing the union offices? That's right. But Justin wasn't just robbing the merchant ships this time. He also stole the administrative documents from the union offices. Why would he do that? I assume that the Mist-Weaving Phantom was part of a larger plot. If that could still be true. Justin wasn't working alone. He must have been stealing those documents for someone. Whoever that person was, they'd been filing these false reports of insurrection. Maybe his accomplice betrayed him to keep quiet. He just robbed an Imperial ship that morning. Rika, do you know who he was working for? Did he say anything to you? He didn't, but I know some people he might have talked to. There were some other kids from the orphanage we used to run our robberies with. They always hang around the beach area. They like laying around the abandoned house there. An abandoned house on the coastline. Are you going to be okay? I can go there with you if you'd like. No, it's okay. You've done more than enough. Just be careful around them. They can get in your face sometimes. I looked at my bodyguard. I wasn't too worried. Thanks for being honest with me, Rika. Just don't push yourself too hard, okay? Hey, is what you said true? Did the City Watch really... Did all of that really happen to you? Yeah. I know I've been really pushy lately. No, you've been nothing but kind and patient with me. I'm really sorry I stopped at you yesterday. You were looking out for me. You didn't deserve that. I've just never seen you like this before. I've been really worried. I really thought I moved past all of this. But it's like everything that happened is replaying in my head. Do you want to talk about it? I think I just want to focus on the case. Tyrion, you're not okay. I know, but I have a job to do. I can't afford to fall apart now. We can talk about everything once this is all over. I can handle this until then. Okay. But I'm always here if you need to talk. Thanks. I'm really glad I get to work with you. These cases wouldn't be nearly as bearable if you weren't here with me. Of course! I love doing this job with you. I really hope you know that. For the first time in the last few days, I cracked a smile. Okay, let's get going. It's time to move to the old abandoned house. Stop telling me where to go, game. I didn't like it when fucking Dual Destinies railroads you. Honestly, I feel like this is worse. Because at least Dual Destinies doesn't say, alright, move here. We arrived at my old abandoned house. From far away, I could already tell it had fallen into a state of disrepair. My mother had always kept our home hidden from the city. I guess she really liked her privacy. It didn't seem like anyone was living there, but the front door was hanging open. Some looters must have gotten to it at some point. Tyrion, are you okay? Yeah, let's look around. I wiped my eyes and began looking around. I suddenly heard the sound of glass breaking. I rushed over to the other side of the house and spotted two young teenagers throwing rocks at it. The shattered remains of a window were lying on the ground. Nice one, Gavin. Gavin Cromwell, occupation none, age 16, a local punk who likes to stir up trouble. I remember him from when I used to live here. It seems not a lot has changed. Tyrion, you're 20. If you were 10, you would have been 6. One of the teens, apparently named Gavin, noticed us approaching. Wyatt, we've got company. Oh! Wyatt Miller, occupation none, age 17. I also remember him. Back then, whenever Gavin was causing trouble, Wyatt was never far behind. It seems not a lot has changed there either. I stared blankly at the broken glass lying on the ground. I just stood there for a moment. Felt like I wanted to say something, but nothing came out of my mouth. Instead, I found myself storming towards them. What the hell do you want? What the hell? Before I even realized what I was doing, I threw a punch straight into Gavin's face. My eyes were slowly tearing up. I was seeing red. I grabbed Gavin by the collar and lifted him off the ground. Get the hell away from my house. Tyrion? Oh, you wanna go? If you came looking for trouble, you sure found it. Okay, let's all calm down and... Stay out of this, you little shit. That command sobered my rage immediately. I just stepped away from the inevitable bloodbath. Excuse me? What? You've got caught in yours or something? Yes, actually. Why don't you go and repeat what you said? I said stay out of this. You little shit. Okay. 5 minutes later. Celeste? Yes? I'm sorry for losing my temper back there. I didn't mean to drag you into this. It's okay. You're going through a lot right now. Celeste? Yes? I think you might have overdone it a bit. Celeste? Yes? I don't think he's breathing. Just give him a second. Oh my god. The very bruised and broken form of Gavin began sputtering and wheezing as he regained consciousness. See? He's perfectly fine. You're fine. Wyatt jumped when our attention turned to him. His legs were trembling, but it was too frozen by fear to run away. Don't bother running. Even with that start, I'll catch up to you. Anyways, these two are probably Justin's former delinquent friends, right? Are you okay with talking to them? Yes, of course. My emotions were a mess. I'd completely forgotten why we came here in the first place. Would you two happen to know the young man who died at the refinery yesterday? These guys are after Justin? He's already dead, ain't he? After Justin? Did Wyatt think we were here on someone's behalf? It might not hurt to play the part to get information. Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you. We're not going to hurt you anymore. We'd just like to ask you a few questions about Justin. Yeah, sure, man. Whatever you want. Alright, you two talk. Gavin's shoulder's been at a weird angle. I might need to pop his shoulder back into place. It was a little disturbing how nonchalantly she could say things like that. Hey, man. I'm a lawyer. What's this? It's an attorney's runestone. It proves I'm a certified attorney. Oh, you're like one of those criminal lawyers. Well, I didn't see nothing, man. But I'll take the stand if the eye taker needs me to. That's fine. Eye taker? The view of the sea was just as I remembered. It was probably the only thing that hadn't changed since I left Oranox. I really wish I could have avoided returning to this house. The wood was dirty, but otherwise in good condition. So much time must have passed since I was left here. Damn it all. I felt a headache coming on. That all? Yeah, that's all. Hey! She's got her spark back. What can you tell me about Justin Way? According to a witness we spoke to, you two seem to be friends. Friends is kinda pushing it. We used to hang back in the day, but we don't no more. It was weird when he started talking to us again. I thought he left for good. But he started talking to you again. Why? We didn't go looking for him, he just showed up here. He said he needed to stay at the hideout for a while. I cursed under my breath. I couldn't believe these people were living in my house. You know he's dead, right? You don't actually need to go looking for him. Are they still trying to collect on his debts? Justin had some debts. Who are they to? Wyatt apparently thought that we were sent on behalf of someone. And from what I'd seen, Justin apparently owed a debt to this person. If this person was some kind of criminal, could they have been his accomplice in the robberies? Did Justin tell you who he owed his debt to? Nah, man, he didn't say nothing. That might whack me too if I told him the truth. So he did know. There's no point in playing dumb. Just tell us what he told you. Did he give you a name? Answer the question! The Eye Taker. The old gold to the Eye Taker. The Eye Taker? Was that some kind of street name? It sounded familiar for some reason. I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd heard it somewhere before. What can you tell me about the Eye Taker? Is this a test or something? Yes. Well, it ain't a secret. He's the criminal kingpin of this region. Anything that happens here happens under his watch. So Justin had a debt to a crime lord. Was that why he returned to a life of crime? How did they get into contact? It was when he was locked up in the dungeons. They made a deal with the I Take His Shot caller there. Justin didn't say much about it, but I think he got into something deep while he was serving his time. The I Take bailed him out, but that ran a debt that'd be collected when he got out. Knowing how the dungeons were, he might have needed the Eye Taker's protection to survive in there. Justin was a remarkable thief. The Eye Taker must have seen that. I could imagine a number of reasons why a crime lord might want to stir up trouble, but I needed something more concrete. You said that Justin was staying in the house. Do you know what he was doing here? I don't know, man. Don't ask nothing. I guess it was back to bring the Mistweaver Phantom. Back to being the Mistweaver Phantom. Okay, why does it flip-flop between Mistweaving and Mistweaver? Is there anything you can tell me? I don't know. I guess it was kind of weird that he didn't always leave the house but never enter it. He'd always leave the house but never enter it. What? Gavin said the same thing the other day. We always saw him leave through the front door, but we never saw him enter it. Was Justin sneaking past them? But why would he only do that when he entered the house? Look, that's all I saw. I didn't see the magic cat. I didn't see nothing. I blinked for a moment and took a slow, deep breath. What do you mean by magic cat? Are they trying to off me because I saw it? I had to massage my temples. I felt a migraine coming on. Wyatt? Just tell me what you saw. Son of a... I told you to brace yourself. Popping your shoulder back in isn't exactly painless. Alright, fine. I saw the magic cat, okay? What magic cat? I saw it walk into the house last week. It looked gross, so I peeked in to see what it was doing. And I saw it. I saw the cat put something in that box using magic. That stuff was crazy. I still don't believe it. And there was the migraine. Okay. And what did this cat look like? It didn't have any hair. It looked kind of like a piece of raw meat. Bingus. Did he seriously expect me to believe he saw a hairless cat casting magic? It was completely... If you weren't yelling at that animal, I might not have even noticed him. There was an animal up on the catwalk, too. It looked to be some kind of headless rodent, but it was abnormally large. He was probably shooing it away. That cat was at the refinery when Justin died. That magic cat was at the scene of the murder. Hey, Tyrion, I hope the noise wasn't too... Wow, are you okay? What did you say to him? Yo, I didn't say nothing. He just got like that. Show me this box. Sure, whatever you say, man. It was obvious he was just seeing things. Commoners mistook natural phenomena for magic all the time. He probably just thought he saw a magic spell, and the cat just happened to be there. I was under a lot of stress. I almost let myself believe his wild story. It was honestly kind of funny when I thought about it. There was no way this magic cat created... It might not be a migraine. It might just be an aneurysm. Oh, so more busting up than I remember. I walked up to the metal container and tried to open it. The lock was broken, but the metal was so bent that the chest was stuck closed. I spotted something large in one of the metal crevices of the chest. Leather strap. The leather strap was lodged in one of the dented crevices of the box. It has Etta engraved at the end of it. Celeste, please scan the room for magical traces. Focus on the metal box. Okay. Oh, wow! There's traces of conjuration all over this metal chest. Cool. Obtained evidence. Old house picture. Picture of my old house. There's a large dented metal container. It's stuck shut. There are traces of conjuration magic all over it. I took a picture of the scene with my runestone before slumping towards the ground. I want to see. Oh, okay. You just don't let me see. Okay. Violetta. It's just a new sturdy character. I just lay on the floor, motionless. Tyrion? The magic cat cast a spell on the magic box. The magic cat cast a spell on the magic box. So, we cool? Yes, Wyatt. We cool. Cool. Wyatt slowly backed out of the house, puzzled by everything. Tyrion, are you okay? I responded with something between a groan and a sob. Okay, you need a break. Let's get you out of here. She lifted me with one arm and began carrying me out of the house like a sack of grain. I'd normally object, but at this point my spirit had just surrendered to whatever was happening. She brought me to the nearby harbor and placed me on a bench overlooking the ocean. Why did I say scene? There you go. Just breathe in that ocean breeze. I just muttered something incoherent in response. But I admitted that the air was nice here. It brought me back to happier memories. I closed my eyes and took in a deep breath. Oh my god. It was probably nothing. It's so cute! Hi there! See, she probably just saw a cute animal on the docks. Before I seemed to raise an octave higher. It was rare. She was never really one to fawn over animals. She only really got like that when she saw a cat. A cat. A cat! Hi, kitty! Meow! Back, you brute! Away with you! That goddamned cat, oh my god. Oh my goodness, look at this tiny little angel! Yeah? This one recognizes royalty when she sees it. Oh. I'll allow it. This time. Hey, Celeste. She looks like a stray. She might let you pet her if you give her some food. No. I am not a stray. I am merely independent. It was taking everything I had just to stay calm. I really needed Celeste to leave. You know, they're probably selling some tuna by the fish market nearby. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. I didn't even think of that! I'll be right back. Don't scare her off, okay? Of course. Please tell me I argue with the cat. Please tell me I argue with the cat. I slowly watched her as she skipped towards the fish market. I waited long enough to make sure that she was out of earshot. Alright, you little bastard. What did you do to Justin Way? Meow! What's this, then? That voice. I've only met one other person who could talk to me like that. Like this. How are you speaking to me right now? It's a rare gift. I can see the thoughts of any creature, not just to humans. And for some reason, animals were always able to understand me, too. Maybe understanding their language allowed me to communicate with them properly. Either that or I was finally losing my mind. I honestly wasn't sure at this point. Who are you? Why have you been breaking into my house? The question definitely drew some looks from the people passing by. I have been known by many names, but you may call me Queen, peasant. That damned cat. Queen. Occupation cat. Age 8. Oh my god. As for your house, you'll need to be more specific. I break into a lot of people's houses. I was tired and frustrated, but this had to be a blessing in disguise. The Eye of Horus only saw truthful thoughts. Animals couldn't lie to me. And despite how articulate they could sound, they were still simple in comparison to humans. What's the cat gonna say to my runestone? What's this? Some kind of trinket? Her body suddenly froze. She was staring at the small ray of sun being reflected by my runestone. So you seek to torment me again, you luminous orb? She immediately pounced where the light hit the ground and tried to paw at the circle of light. Her tiny paws were trying to grasp what wasn't there. Curse your ethereal form. I will find a way to slay you, you spectre. She darted from spot to spot as I slowly angled my runestone. This is kind of fun. Okay. Okay, let's start from the top. Why were you at the refinery yesterday morning? Ah, that building with all the metal constructs. I was keeping watch over that boy. I needed to make sure he completed his task. How did you know what his task was? Because I gave it to him. What? I gave him the task to rob those documents from Stefanik Drakogan. But, what? I just incoherently stammered for a while before clapping my hands together to stop myself. I took another long, deep breath. Why would a cat want something as worthless as a few documents? Worthless? I think we both know that those documents are quite valuable in the proper hands. I told him he could take the old fool's gold as well, but he left it for some reason. Oh my god. It's such a shame what happened to the boy. But he brought that onto himself. If he had never disobeyed me, he would still be among the living. I felt that migraine returning. Are you saying that you're the one who murdered Justin Way? Well, it was my device that pushed him from that platform. What kind of device was it? What did it do exactly? Allow him to move from one location to another. They were quite instrumental to the jobs he was completing. There was a flash of magical light centered on his position. It blew apart the guardrail. The problem is that I'm almost sure that it wasn't a spell. It was the effect of some sort of artificery. This device must have been some kind of artificery machine. That at least explained how she was casting magic. He needed to simply follow the plan. Instead, he tried to betray me at the last moment. He even tried to pull me in with him. Luckily, the only thing harmed was my neckband. After he was disposed of, I had to complete the job myself. Luckily, the boy already unlocked. Sorry, I have to take this. What? She didn't respond. She simply looked up at the sky, distracted. As articulate as she was, her understanding was still limited. I would need to work with what she really meant on my own. Out what she really meant on my own. I would need to work out. What? I could swear. I swear. Okay. What was the function of Queen's artificery device? It let him move around from one location to another. My sanity stopped. My sanity. Oh my god. Okay, Queen's device allowed the wearer to teleport. The device had been allowing Justin to teleport. No wonder he'd been so elusive. The security systems that he bypassed were designed to keep mages from teleporting in, but they didn't stop people from teleporting out. He must have used his skills as the mist-weaving phantom to break in. He then used his device to make an instantaneous getaway. But if I wanted to use this in court, I would need physical evidence. What is the artificery device? There had to be something that I could identify as the device. I mean, I would assume this. No, Justin was supposedly using this device during his robbers. For whatever reason, he didn't go through with robbing Drakogan's office. So he wouldn't have entered the refinery unless he was initially planning to rob it. Oh, the ring! It was the ring! Magical items were more durable and resistant to magical effects. Justin must have been wearing it when he fell into the vat. It dissolved his body, but it couldn't dissolve the magical ring he was wearing. But if he was wearing it when he died, that could only mean one thing. You didn't kill Justin Way, did you? No, when did I ever say that? She spoke so articulately that I almost forgot. Animals tended to be extremely literal compared to humans. They said that Justin died because he disobeyed you. What exactly did he do? He used the device when he wasn't supposed to. He didn't disappear like he usually did. Instead, there was an explosion of energy. I was almost caught by it. I barely escaped the boat. The boat? The blast. Wait, he tried to teleport while he was on the catwalk? Why would he do that? I have no idea. Does not speak to how foolish that was. Regardless of why, that must have been the magical effect that Rika and the Crown Prince saw. They didn't see him getting blasted with a spell. They saw him cast a spell on himself using his ring. But how would that destroy the guardrail? Did the ring malfunction and create a small explosion? No, something like that should still have left traces of magic, and there weren't any on the catwalk. I would need to know exactly what kind of magic the ring could cast. Only the Inquisition had access to mages who could analyze it. I would be showing my hand to Steelwind, but I didn't have a choice if I wanted to use this in court. Thank you for answering my questions, Queen, but I have one last question. Who are you really working for? What do you want about? I am the brains of this operation. Do you expect me to believe that you're behind those false reports of insurrections? I don't concern myself with the minutiae of my underlings. All you need to know is that I'll be standing at the top of the city by the end of this. I knew it. She may not have been able to lie, but she was grossly misunderstanding her role in this. But someone trained you, didn't they? You knew what the objective was. Trained? I'm insulted. I was debriefed. It's quite strange, really. You spoke to me in the same way that you are now. What? In any case, it seems I must be going now. He seems quite anxious about you. Wait, stop! I tried to grab her, but she gracefully leapt over me. She pivoted off my back before landing softly on the bench behind me. Ha! Try again in 10 years, boy! Laughing triumphantly, she scurried away into the city. Oh, come on! I told you not to scare her off! Celeste arrived back, wheeling a 10-foot-long tuna in a wheelbarrow. I blinked at it for a moment before looking back at the city. There are more important things to focus on right now. Whoever was behind this had been speaking to that cat, and they were using an ability similar to mine. Was there someone else in Orinox that could use the Eye of Horus? If only I'd caught her before she ran, I might have been able to get more information out of her. Are you okay? There was no helping it. I just need to work with the only lead I had. We need to talk to Steelwind.
Can someone tell me why the mage girl is roasting a giant fish outside?
Ignore that, Urim. What did the Ignore that, Urim. What did the diviner say?
Turns out the kid was right. That ring's artificery. And it's pretty sophisticated too. Its functions got scrambled by the chemicals in the vat, but we were able to figure out that it triggers 2 spells.
2 spells?
Yeah, one spell teleports the caster. The other summons a target to their location.
Obtain evidence. Teleport. Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, honestly. Artificery fitted into a ring usually only has one function.
Spells. Teleport. School conjuration. Incantation, none. Gesture, none. Duration, instantaneous. Concentration, no. Allows the caster to teleport to any position within 100 miles. If the caster targets a spell focus or magic circle designed to receive teleportation, the range at which they can teleport is unlimited. If the position that the caster tries to teleport is occupied by any physical object, they may briefly appear at that position before the spell fails. Summon. School, conjuration. Incantation, none. Gesture, none. Duration, instantaneous. Concentration, no. Allows the caster to summon an object to a position within 15 feet of them. The target object must be attuned to the caster's magic using a spell focus. If the target position is occupied by any physical object, the summoned object may briefly appear at that position before the spell fails. Why's that? Unlike spells cast by a mage, artificery can't intuitively choose which spell to cast. Usually, devices with multiple spells have some kind of switch or multiple buttons. What about our runestones? They project a visual interface for us to use. Yes, but a system as sophisticated as that wouldn't fit in a ring like this. Either way, Justin must have been using this ring to teleport away from his crimes. But what was the function of the second spell? Do you know what target was summoning spell? Do you know what target the summoning spell is linked to?
No idea. It wasn't physically damaged, but the magic's too disrupted. It's been fading since the accident too. We're lucky we could even identify the spells at all. If the kid had figured this out a day later, it might have been too late.
Which raises the question as to how you figured this out. A cat told me. Mr. Cuthbert, it was my resources that allowed you to analyze the ring in the first place. I believe I deserve to know why. Fair point, but I'll only tell you on one condition. I don't want Mosarika Tudor to be implicated in any of the crimes of the Mistweaving Phantom. Fine, but only if she isn't the Phantom herself. She's not. It was Justin Way.
What?
How certain of you are this?
I'm fairly sure. Follows everything I've learned so far.
The prosecutor cursed under her breath. That only means the location of the Crown Prince's cargo has been lost with him.
Oh, speak of the devil.
From behind Steelwind, the Crown Prince began approaching us eagerly, but he paused when he noticed her. Okay, I know it's me, but I can eat this much fish by... Oh. Celeste froze as she saw the Crown Prince approaching Steelwind. The Crown Prince had told us earlier how much Steelwind hated him. The prosecutor raised an eyebrow at all of us. She probably saw the looks on our faces. What are you all looking at? She slowly turned her head before completely whipping around at the sight of the Crown Prince. Your Majesty? I see here?
Oh my god.
What? The last thing I want to do is disturb you during your work. But I wanted to see you. Oh, okay. I looked over to the commander. He looked like he wanted to pull out a bag of popcorn. I wanted to apologize to you in person. I can't believe they're pulling you into this nonsense with the arcane crystals. No, it's my duty as your queen. Sorry, I meant wife. Fiancé? Oh boy. I can't believe they're stirring up so much trouble over this. How difficult is it to find one giant chest?
Wait a minute. Where's the Crown Prince's stolen cargo?
The giant chest you mentioned didn't look like this, did it? No. It was definitely made from a different material. It wasn't nearly so damaged. Although, this chest is suspiciously large. Do you know what was inside it?
No, it was too dented, we couldn't open it.
Then it might be worth looking into. There's an old abandoned house near the forests along the ocean side. You'll find it there. Orem, since you clearly have so much time to stand around gawking, you'll be personally responsible for looking into this suspicious container.
And she's back.
What was that?
Nothing.
Thank you so much, Lady Steelwind. I already know you're busy with Von Sanctus's trial. Oh, well, the stolen shipment is related to the trial. What? Oh, I meant... Are you okay? The Crown Prince stepped closer to her, a concerned look on his face. Is it just me, or is it absurdly hot in here? Really? I don't feel anything. Although, your face is looking a little flushed right now. Oh, Scare Lord, no. It's fine, really. You still look as beautiful as always. Fucking keyboard smash! Oh my god. I'm going to get some... Water? Yes. The stone wall that was the prosecutor nearly walked into a pool before scurrying away to a nearby washroom. As she left, the Crown Prince exhaled. I'm sorry you two had to see that. What? It's as I said before. She absolutely detests me. You saw it, didn't you? She could barely look me in the eye. Oh my god. I suppose you missed it. She does tend to be subtle about her feelings. As subtle as a brick to the face. Anyways, I had clear proof that the guardrail broke because of Justin's actions, not Dracogan's negligence. But that somehow felt unsatisfying in a way. I still never found out who Queen was working with. It felt like such a massive piece of the puzzle. It may have just been my arrogance, but I never imagined I wouldn't catch him. I could just investigate him after the trial was done, but my resources would be limited as an attorney. Was this really okay? Hey! Hi. I'm just checking in. You look really tired. Sorry. Don't apologize, you've been running yourself ragged since we got up. I guess it is getting late. Let's head back to the room for now. I can work through everything we've learned there. We arrived back at the tavern room. The lobby was still packed with people waiting for the blockade to end. Despite myself, the soft mattress of the bed was just too appealing. I could probably work through all of this while lying down. The soft linen felt like a cloud trying to engulf me. Ugh, I needed to focus. I couldn't... What was I thinking about again? Sleep, 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 sleep. I fell asleep immediately.
Come on, put your backs into it.
It's stuck pretty tight, sir. We might need a mage to transmute it open.
Well, use magic when some elbow grease will do the trick. Come on, open, you piece of junk. Didn't I tell you? All it took was a little.
Boss?
We need to get out of here.
What?
Everyone get out. We need to get as far away from this thing as possible.
What was it, sir? I'm here. What happened?
The kid was right. The energy cells were in there. But someone rigged another device to it. It could be a bomb.
I'm going to take a look at it.
Are you crazy? I just told you it could be a bomb.
If it's allowed to detonate, we'll lose any evidence pointing to who did this. Next time, we might not be so fortunate.
Then I'll go.
Commander, you can't possibly expect me to.
Hey, I'm just looking out for myself. There's a long list of people who'd have my head if I let the future queen get blown up.
We'll go together then.
What? I just said...
With all due respect, Commander, you're not great with artificery. With the two of us there, we'll stand a better chance. A compromise is an agreement where neither party is pleased.
Have it your way.
Another nightmare overtook my sleep. I clutched the note tightly in my hands as I read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There was so much I wanted to tell you. So much that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid that I was never meant to walk this path with you. Though this world is bleak, merciless and unforgiving. But don't let it extinguish the flickering flame I can see within you. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate just as I once did. Use it to build your own path to happiness. Her eyes? I don't understand. It didn't matter. All I had to do was stop the execution. If I could just distract the knights long enough, I could save her, and we could run away. We'd have to abandon our home, but there was nothing she couldn't do. I tried to sprint towards the gallows, but a knight grabbed my arm and lifted me back. Hey kid, can't cross this point. I tried to break his grip by striking him with my bare fists. They just fruitlessly clanged against his plate armor. Hey, stop that! It wasn't doing anything, but I was in a frenzy. I just threw punch after punch. My knuckles were starting to bleed. Having had enough, the knight pinned me to the ground. Damn, kid! I desperately struggled against him to no avail. From this position, I had no choice but to watch what was happening. Wait! Stop! I made eye contact with my mother one last time. Her body went limp. I stared blankly at the hanging corpse. No, this isn't... Mom? I held her note tightly in my hands, the paper nearly crumpling in my grip. I felt a comforting yet fleeting warmth from it. I was all alone now. Tyrion? Celeste? I snapped back awake. It was just another nightmare. It took me a while before I realized that tears were streaming down my face. I quickly tried to bring up my sleeve to wipe them away, but I realized that Celeste was firmly gripping my hand. What? Why are you? Sorry. You're kind of shouting in your sleep. You seemed to calm down whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Oh. Tyrion, are you okay? I know you're not, but... It's fine. It's not fine! Does it have something to do with what happened to your mom? For the last 2 nights, you've been calling out for her in your sleep. Please just talk to me. I didn't have many people in my life after I left Orinox. I only had Miss Timora. My mother's death had always weighed heavily on her, too. But Celeste had been there since I started my career. It all happened a long time ago. I lived here together with my mother in that old house. She was a merchant and a mage. Your mom was a mage? I guess the gift of magic skipped my generation. I could never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found murdered. And they found traces of magic at the crime scene. They thought that your mom did it. Miss Timora was my mom's attorney at the time. She did everything she could, but they couldn't find the real killer. I tried to stop her execution, but... My voice started breaking. Tyrion? I'm sorry, Celeste. What? I was saving people from being killed like my mother was. I thought I'd finally moved on. But I'm back in Orinox. And these feelings are just as fresh in my mind as they were back then. What was she like? What? What was your mom like? I thought for a moment. She was amazing. She raised me by herself while working as a fortune teller. A fortune teller? I know how it sounds, but she wasn't a scam artist. People would come to her with all sorts of problems. They'd tell her all about their relationship issues, their financial troubles, even their existential crises. By the time she pulled a single tarot card, she already knew exactly what they needed to hear. Tarot readings are funny like that. You can assign any meaning you want to them. Sometimes she do them for me, too. I always had something on my mind back then. Stupid kid stuff. But she always knew just what to say to make me feel better. It wasn't until years afterwards that I realized she had the Eye of Horus, too. I think she always felt bad that she was working all the time. On her days off, she'd take me out with her. We'd eat at restaurants, we'd play chess by the docks. She's the one who taught me how to play. Sometimes we'd sail out at night and watch the lights of the city. Those memories are still happy for me, but... They remind you of what you've lost. Yeah. I still feel like I'm the same powerless kid from 10 years ago. I'm really sorry, Celeste. I know that I've been taking that out on you. I get it. I know what it's like to lose someone like that. If it weren't for you, I'd still be trapped in that terrible night. You gave me my life back. Celeste slowly clasped my hand within hers. It was warm and comforting. Had this been the warmth I'd been feeling for the last few nights? I know you're dealing with a lot right now, but just let me be here for you. I could feel myself dozing off. I had to snap myself awake. Sorry, the last few days have been a lot. It's okay. Just rest now. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. I'm also feeling pretty tired, though. I'll just rest my eyes a bit. For the first time since I arrived in Orinox, I'd finally received a good night's rest. I woke up the next morning feeling well rested. Almost too much in a way. The pillows and blankets felt like warm clouds embracing me. I didn't want to leave. Celeste, are you there? My hand felt warm. Aww. I could feel my heart stop. Celeste? What do you want? Her eyes slowly opened. Through half-lidded eyes, she scanned her surroundings. We both immediately jumped out of bed. So, you're okay now, right? You seem to be doing better? Yeah, thank you for last night. The words stumbled out of my mouth before I realized how poorly I'd phrased that. I just cleared my throat. We should get ready for the trial. Yep, that trial. Let's go do that. I'd lost a lot of time, but it was my own fault for ignoring my fatigue for so long. I would just need to play this by ear. And we'll play it by ear next time! My god. We'll finish out this case. The origin of Horus. Next time. Bye-bye!